Meanwhile, I was checking on everyone to see how they were doing. I spoke to Mikey and Don, but I couldn't find Raph anywhere.
Because he was someone else at the time, and none of us knew it.
But I knew Raph always liked the Chinese part of town, so I went to look for him there.
At least you were right about that. Of course, one of the reasons I like that area is there's always someone itching to pick a fight.
You mean like the Foots? In that case, it worked. Aside from knowing he wasn't where I'd looked already, and he probably wasn't back in the...
So in this level, Leo is understandably concerned where Raphael could have gone and is trying to find him. But he mentions in the commentary at the beginning of the level, which I just talked over, that he doesn't think Raphael would be back in the sewer, which doesn't make any sense. In the film, it's expressly stated that Raphael had been sleeping a lot pretty much all day, and this was because, of course, he became very depressive when Leo left. Now, putting aside how the film manages to portray depression, situational depression I mean, in both an organic and sincere manner, which is great, there's no reason for Leo to assume that Raphael wouldn't be at home. He was told at least twice that all Raphael did was sleep all day. And sure, it's not quite day right now, but I don't see why he'd rule that out instantly. Anyway, about this level in particular, this level has some really good platforming on construction equipment that's genuinely difficult due to the perspective in a couple of spots. It's actually coming up just here, I think, right past this Cowabunga Carl sign, which really shouldn't be there. But anyway, the jumps here require a bit more precision than the rest in the game, so it kind of stands out to me. I did actually die here while platforming a couple of times, and I wouldn't call it unfair. I just wasn't used to having to land on platforms this small. And the perspective made things a bit more challenging too. There are a couple of times in this game where I think the perspective causes issues, but this isn't one of them. I think the perspective here genuinely adds challenge without being unfair or obnoxious. It also reminds me that this game has excellent cinematography, which is not something you can say about most games because most games have a camera you can adjust. But this game makes excellent use of its perspective and has a lot of dramatic angles. Whoever did the camera work, they did an excellent job here. They knew just when to swing the camera and how to do it. It's also a tough balance, you know, not sacrificing gameplay for cinematography. Like, some games with fixed cameras, they will have excellent cinematography, but at the cost of actually being able to see what the hell you're doing. One game that comes to mind is ironically one of my favorites, Death by Degrees, one of the best beat-em-ups ever made on the PlayStation 2. Great game mechanics, beautiful cinematography, really fucking hard to see what you're doing. It's a shame Death by Degrees was so ignored because it was way ahead of its time in terms of beat-em-up game mechanics and in storytelling. This was around a period where a lot of games struggled to tell mature or interesting stories, especially in terms of world building and intrigue. But Death by Degrees does it pretty much flawlessly. It seems so effortless too, so even though I'm sure they put a lot of work into writing it, it seems like because it's so sure of itself, you know, the game just carries itself in such a sure fashion.
I didn't know the Foot were responsible for all the screaming.
Give it up, Night Watcher. Your crime spree is over.
Crime spree. You take on gangs, you save people's lives, and your own brother calls you a criminal scumbag. That was it. Well, if it ain't Leo the Servant Boy. You got something to say to me, Splinter's pet?
Raph?
What's the matter? You upset because there's something you didn't know? How smart are you now, big shot?
Raph, wait!
So I'm not sure that cutscene could have done much more disservice to Raphael's character, but let's talk about it anyway. First, let's talk about what Leo did differently. For some unfathomable reason, in the video game, Leo thinks that Night Watcher is a criminal, even though in the film he knows Night Watcher is a vigilante and is simply trying to stop Night Watcher because he thinks what he's doing is dangerous. When he confronts Night Watcher, Leo even explicitly says, "I respect your intentions, but you're going about this the wrong way." I'm paraphrasing, of course, but he does say he respects Night Watcher's intentions. Assuming the Night Watcher is a criminal is not something Leo would do. It's not in line with his character. Leo is used to being misunderstood, and he's used to his brothers being misunderstood. So he did think Night Watcher was a vigilante. And it set up a really emotionally powerful scene where Leo tried to give Nightwatcher a lecture on not using anger to fuel your life, because it will make you lose sight of all the things important to you, and also make you fight really shitty. Raphael also definitely did not intentionally reveal himself to Leo. It was in his best interest not to show Leo that he was a Night Watcher, because he didn't want to hurt his brother emotionally. I think the game developers need to understand something about Raphael, so I'm going to make it very clear. Raphael is not an asshole. He is just angry about injustice. He's not an asshole. He doesn't want to hurt people. That last cutscene made it seem like he actually wanted to hurt Leo emotionally. And that was not the case in the film. Whenever he actually did hurt Leo emotionally, he kinda had a fucking breakdown. Like, Leo just kept pushing, and eventually Raphael couldn't take it anymore, so he had to fucking break down and attacked Leo, and after that he ran away basically crying, because he couldn't deal with how aggressive he was being towards someone he loved so much. And just fucking watch the movie, Jesus Christ. How much do I have to tell you how good the movie is before you just go watch it? Seriously, is there a way I can just let's play the movie instead? Look at the cinematography. This is great cinematography. You see him running away beneath you and you actually jump down there. It's great. I like that. Try and focus on positives. This is a very good game.
Leo! Leo! They put him in that truck! Hang on, Leo! I'm coming for you!
So this is a vague interpretation of what happened in the movie, but it's missing a lot of context. The Foot Ninja didn't just kidnap Leo for no reason. There's a very important story-related reason why they kidnapped Leo that never gets discussed here. It's actually arguable whether the Foot Ninja were even involved. They were just working with the party that was involved. And also the director and writer of TMNT understood how to avoid severe mood whiplash, because in the game, it's just a complete 180 from Raphael taunting Leo to Raphael being concerned for Leo's safety. In the film, not only is Raphael far too angry to be taunting Leo, but there's also a lot more emotional subtlety between them fighting and what actually occurs with the kidnapping. The contrast between their two personalities plays a much bigger role in the film, as opposed to here where basically Raphael's just being a dick and Leo's the only one being reasonable or having any kind of point. The scene with Raphael and Leo in the film points out Leo's flaws just as much as it points out Raphael's flaws. It points out that Leo, for all of his emotional intelligence and leadership skills, can have a bit of a superiority complex. You know, in the film, it's shown that Leo believes that he knows what's best for everyone, and that doesn't really sit well with Raphael. Raphael finds it insulting that Leo thinks they couldn't possibly survive without him, even though Raphael was the one hurt the most by his leaving. Because, you know, what right does Leo have to go around lecturing them after he disappeared? But, you know, fuck that, I guess, because almost everyone hated that movie for some reason, and I don't get it. Are people just stupid? Is that it? Are people just stupid and they can't read into the emotional complexities of characters? It's not like it was hard. They basically shouted everything they felt. Is it because it was a movie about cartoon turtles? Is that the issue? Because as I understand it, most fiction is in fact fantasy. It has many things that don't occur in real life and couldn't occur in real life, such as talking turtles. And I mean, oh hey, look at that. That's also beautiful cinematography. I forgot about that shot. That's a good one. Man, damn, did I let my misanthropy show there for a second? I didn't mean to do that. I swear I'm not misanthropic all the time. I can stop anytime I want to. Jokes aside, I really don't think I'm all that misanthropic. I generally try to help people where possible. Just don't understand them sometimes. Might have accidentally called a lot of people stupid. We all do things we regret.
We need only one of you alive. That makes you expendable.
Get it? She's like a snake, so they gave her a stupid cartoony snake voice, because she's like a snake. It's so clever and not at all obnoxious when characters do this. Hello everyone and welcome back to my Let's replay of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This time, someone's going to try and virtually punch me in the cock for using this voice.
All right!
Before me.
Can't beat her on my own! This is it! No, Mikey! Don! Splinter! Leo! Leo!
Hang on, Raph! We're here for you, bro.
What are you two do- Guys, I'm sorry. I've been a real jerk.
Later, dude. We got some serious snake butt to kick.
Up and at 'em!
I love when they totally force things like this. Like, you know, I was actually doing great as Raphael, but because of a scripted event, the others had to show up and save me. Could have taken her as Raphael, no problem, but no, they had to do this whole thing. It really reminds me of that Shredder fight, where it was supposed to be showing off their teamwork, but I just did the whole thing as Raphael by throwing one of his brothers at Shredder over and over. Really, you could just give Raphael a big rock, and he'd do the same thing. Just give him a big rock with like a strap on it. Actually, you know, that's a way you could describe his weapons as Night Watcher. Just kind of big rocks with chains attached to them.
At last, fools.
Thanks, guys. I thought I was a goner.
No problem, Raph. That's what families are for. Dude, what's with the outfit?